What's up, guys? Welcome to the show here. We've taken a few weeks off here, so we got quite a few things to go over on updates here at Madness. First thing I want to talk about is dirt racing. We have, at the tail end of the season here, we decided to do a quick point series. A couple guys had been asking us, so we figured why not. I think it's 5 weeks. It's posted up on the online there, the Facebook page. We did our first one last Friday. Yeah, first one last Friday. And it went well. Great turnout. I think it was about 7 heats or something like that, maybe 8. So it was a great turnout. We're going to do, trophies and the regular stuff at the end of it, but it's all for mostly bragging rights for Friday nights, let's be honest.
As opposed to the usual racing, which is, huge purses and just cash rewards.
Big bragging rights for Friday, though.
Yeah.
We got a lot of rivalries going from over the summer, but now it's on paper.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, friendly, like John and Paul come to mind. They've been going back and forth with each other all season.
Huh.
And so Friday Night Lights, awesome racing. The weather should be cool for the rest of the season here. This Friday coming up. We'll see what it goes. As far as weather goes, we try to make the call, honestly, as late as possible. I don't know, some of you, it doesn't very convenient, but we try to see how much, either one, if it rains in the morning, how much water can it take before we have to call it and we can't fix it, or if the rain is incoming, can we wait and see if it goes around us, because we've had pretty decent luck over the summer with the rain saying it's going to rain all afternoon and then kind of just going around us. So we've kind of just been
the benefit of the Madness force field.
What are you working on over here?
I'm looking at where I look at the forecast.
Oh,
I don't want to cause any distress, so I'll keep it to myself.
I do want to touch on the weather thing a little bit. Me, Justin, and Chris, we all have cell phones and we all have access to current weather updates.
Wait. I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes.
You would like more of the racers to send you updates on the weather?
We don't need you to post on Facebook that the weather doesn't look good. We get our weather information from the weather app. We don't just go on Facebook and hope somebody has the weather forecast.
Are you kidding me?
We're fully aware.
You guys have that technology.
We do. Believe me. We're fully aware of the current weather situation, and we are trying to make the best call possible to make the most amount of people happy.
Can we just say one thing? I got to say this, though. Last week, I don't even race dirt, but I'm watching the threads because there's usually some humor to be found.
Fair enough.
Here comes Papa Tom Bishop with the most, clearly professionally stated explanation of what the weather is looking to do. And underneath it, I think it was Charlie posts the Ollie Williams guy, the weatherman from Family Guy, where he's saying, "It's raining sideways." It was perfect.
Yeah.
So,
and there is a bit of comic relief in there. Put on a real note.
Yeah.
The first thing as soon as Justin comes in, the first thing he reads when he wakes up in the morning, weather doesn't look good. We look at the weather from the beginning of the week to the end. We just like everybody else.
Chris also isn't a big fan of doomsayers.
No.
Because I've had times where there was a race coming up on the weekend, like a turf race, and it's I don't know. I was watching, I'll say it in passing. I'm not looking for feedback or data or answers and predictions. It's just, I know, I saw the forecast. It's kind of blah, blah, blah. And Chris be like, man, it's going to be fine. It's going to go around us, Keep a positive attitude. Don't say stuff like that. So keep it to yourself.
Well, I agree.
Bite your nails and worry at home.
I agree. It's mostly just, it's not just one person that tells us, hey, it's going to rain Friday. We hear it 15 times, 20 times between now and Friday. We're fully aware of the situation. And believe me, we are trying to make it work just as much. I mean, we do what we can do. So that's my little rant about that. I'm sure I'll see it tomorrow morning.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. Sorry to laugh at your pain. It's pretty funny.
Every single race event. Hey, it's looking like it's going to rain. It's like, hey, look, my phone has a picture of the weather just when you turn it on.
It does.
See that?
Your background are clouds. Does that mean that Friday's not looking good?
It's good now. It's just, I don't know. Anyway.
It's human nature.
Anyway.
Be glad we don't have like a winter season outside. Looking kind of icy.
Looking like we're going to get 3 feet of snow. We'll be alright.
Snowplow races.
Might be fun.
Get everybody to buy those Kyosho Blizzards.
I raced down the parking lot with my plow.
That's your full-size truck, though.
Yeah. Anyway.
Those kids shouldn't have been there.
It was too early.
Anyway.
So Friday Night Lights, been going pretty good. We just had the one night there, but a good turnout. I'm going to try to keep that going. So, continuing on with our events here, we've been working on our winter schedule, or me and Chris. I have probably about half, I think I got up to January, maybe February for the off-road carpet races events scheduled, and then at least for schedule for everything up until December. So we're still working on that a little bit. So on the RC Madness events page, I posted up on Facebook yesterday. I'm also putting the events on Facebook. I'm just not doing them all at the same time because it like every time you put an event, it posts it. So I end up having like 15 posts of events just in
saturating the page.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to do that, but I think I have up through December on Facebook, so you can check it out there too. And I've also on the events page of the RC Madness site, which is a little more detailed than Facebook. So if you want to just save that link in your phone, that's kind of the one I focus on. That has all the Tuesday night weekly racing, Friday night, when those Friday nights start and end. So it's got a little more information than Facebook. I couldn't put all those on Facebook just because there would be a million events, and it's kind of, from a computer standpoint, a bit of a pain. But check out the events page. We have Tuesday night series officially starting, 10-week series. All the dates are on there. We have a Friday night trophy race to kick off Friday night indoor 10 scale. This is after dirt, so it's still a little ways off.
Is it October?
I think it's towards the end of September.
Oh wow!
It might be mid-October. I think I started Tuesday night, 10 scale at the end of September, and I think I went to carpet October.
Sweet.
Because we have the fall final dirt race. I think the first weekend of October, and then I believe I just started Friday nights after that last dirt race. So that fall final is going to be the final kind of kickoff. And then we have the Monster Truck World Finals on the 14th and 15th of October. So that should be pretty cool. If you guys, even if you're not into monster trucks, they do all the Monster Jam.
They're cool to watch. They're very cool to watch.
It's a pretty cool thing just to show up and check out, honestly. They're wicked scale looking.
Yep.
They're pretty quick for what they are, and there was word of a possible life-size monster truck showing up. Not exactly sure which one it was, but he was talking to me about it, so that's pretty cool. I guess there's somebody that's relatively local, or in Massachusetts or something, that runs them. Didn't know much about it. Don't want to make any promises there. Just heard that through the wind. And then probably going to run a little bit of the dirt bikes with that, trying to mix that. We're working on our dirt bike track in the back.
Just like they do with the full-size monster trucks.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, we'll run more dirt bikes over here a little bit. So we're working on that. Justin's been working on the dirt bike track. Weather's been not really in our favor to work with anything dirt-related the last week and a half. So probably, I mean, we're going to definitely put up something for this year, but probably be more next year that we get into the dirt bike stuff really hard. We're trying to figure out
once they become more
we're trying to figure out what they're capable of and what makes it fun versus what makes it too hard, because they handle completely different than cars. And the jumps need to be a lot smaller, a little bit more smooth. Because if they're too hard and abrupt, it washes the front tire out and it makes it want to do this in the air with the gyro.
I saw Justin driving it over the weekend, and
it's different.
You can tell that it's a different experience.
In our limited testing, we've kind of realized you can't really run them on an 8th scale track, like our 8th scale race track and a dirt bike track at the same time. It's kind of going to have to be two different tracks. We run it on the 8th scale track. It's just too hard to really ride it on in there, to the point where you're focusing so hard to drive it that it's not much fun, if that makes sense. And Justin was struggling to bang out laps on the 8th scale track, and he's a phenomenal 8th scale driver, and he's struggling with the dirt bike to do it. So
right.
and then we made the course in the back a little bit, and we made it obviously much easier, and it was way more fun. Like we were side by side racing with them and stuff. So more to be told on that. I'm getting a little deep into dirt bike racing off of monster trucks there, but mostly the spiel is about the events page. All the events on RC Madness. If you have a question, check out the events page. Obviously, give us a call if the answer's not on there, but the schedule is on there for pretty much everything, weekly racing and trophy racing. I'll put a link in the description, which I think there already is, but I'll double check.
Cool.
I think that was it for events. Ooh, we got the kind of going off events here. We drove to New York on Monday and we picked up the new black carpet for the indoor on-road track / oval track. So I'm not 100% sure on the plan for putting that in. There was talks about Saturday of this coming week, and then throughout the week trying to get it all in. So hopefully following week that'll all be set up, and also trying to set up a new driver stand for over there as well. So that one's a little on the rickety side. It was, I think, moved from the old shop.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you know, is that the original carpet that was first put down?
It was not.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, because I helped put that carpet in. This probably got to be there
7-8 years?
Yeah, at least that much. So
it's a pretty good life.
Lasted quite a while.
Compared to the off-road track.
Yeah, well, yeah, foam. You just run the foam tires and slick tires. It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because we did put that on the off-road track at one point and it completely destroyed it in like one layout. Oh. And we just put it on like the faces of the jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we had some left over when we trimmed it. Completely destroyed it.
And I think that's what they use at like...
I think that's what they use the Florida race.
In Ohio and the Florida race. And they said like when they... I forget what Scotty calls the Ohio race, but they do on-road one weekend and then the next weekend they do off-road. Right. And by the time they're done with that one weekend of racing, the carpet's smoked.
Yeah. This stuff does not hold up whatsoever to a pin tire. It's more like felt than carpet.
Yeah. It doesn't have any depth.
This is supposed to be some newer stuff. I'm not really sure exactly what they changed. I guess it's directional, but it's the same stuff they're using at the Worlds and stuff like that. So should be cool. So on-road / oval guys, be excited about that. So, and I got most of those events posted too for on-road and oval on that page. So check it out. It's pretty nice on the page too because you can click on it and port it over to your Google and iPhone calendar.
Really?
Yeah, I did that. I think that's about it, other than a few show and tell items that we have today, I believe. I'm probably missing something. Chris will yell at me later. He always does. Hey, you didn't talk about this.
Why didn't you talk about it?
I didn't talk. Oh, the J Concept race. We need to talk about that.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Yeah, we do.
Freaking glazed right over there. We're over here talking about events. So the next major event, and arguably one of the biggest ones throughout the past few years, is the J Concept Turf Nationals, which is coming up next month. I'm not 100% sure on the date. Really? It's the first, second, and third?
Word!
Usually it's the following weekend. Usually it was like the second weekend.
Well, I'll put it this way. That's what I'm basing my calendar off. I'll look it up.
It is on our events page that I did make, but I made that event a long time ago for what it's worth. But anyway, the J Concept race coming up. I believe it's going to be a pretty much similar situation to last year. Have not heard anything about a controlled tire. I don't know if you've talked to Chris about that or not.
Last I knew, it's open tire still.
Yeah, okay. Open tire. That's 2022.
Why you gotta micromanage me?
Because you're taking too long. You should have went to our events page.
Well, I don't have it bookmarked.
Seriously. Oh, sign up for our newsletter real quick.
I don't want to. I don't need... We're going to get that pop up again? Yeah, September 1 through 3.
Never doubted you.
See that? I knew things.
But anyway, September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's Friday. He has Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I assume. Friday is just practice. Saturday, Sunday are racing.
Open tire for all classes.
So, open tire. Should be a pretty similar situation to last year, like I said. Going to put in a new turf layout. We've been fixing a lot of the the tears in it. It just the sun kills the turf there. It makes it pretty brittle.
And so do cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw there were a lot of patch panels put in for the
patches. We tested on quite a few spots and seem to be working quite well. So hopefully we will have the rest of it patched, and basically just where it has layers of tape, we just put in patches of turf with carpet glue and a whole bunch of stuff, and actually makes it more or less seamless. I mean, even up from the driver's stand, other than a slight color difference, you can't really tell that they're there.
Yeah, it's way better than having a tape border, because the tape totally messes with the grip. So
yeah, and it's the same turf, so essentially, and the edges don't seem to affect the car at any noticeable degree anyway.
Nah.
So that's cool. So we're gonna finish doing that fresh layout. Hopefully a couple new jumps. Me and Tyler were just talking about before the show, fixing up some of the jumps and stuff. So the track should be mint. Hopefully our boys over at RCMP will come out and do a little video for us. I just did one on the barbecue blast there. I posted it up earlier today. Actually, it was actually pretty good. I watched it.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
It's not bad. So shout out to Josh over there.
Yeah, check him out, guys.
Yeah, honestly, do a lot of cool stuff for us. So I don't know, anything else you got for the Turf Nationals? I know you're coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
what a speech.
No, sorry. I had nothing prepared. No, I mean, like, some people know, like, I've been trying to run two-wheel drive modified, and like I said to you, it's been a lot of banging my head against a concrete post. It's hard. And it's hard to start doing when you're old.
Been too old for this.
Well, I mean, I'm no Sean Turner looking for that 50-plus class, but...
too old for boogie racing.
Thank you, Danny Glover. So I had my moments where I questioned whether I was going to do it or not, but I talked to a good friend, great painter, who encouraged me to, quote, pull my panties out of my family-friendly podcast, and he was like, you need some tough love, just man up. It's for fun, it's hanging out with the boys, you need to be there. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. So I might run stock, and I don't want to. I wanted to, like, see how I compare against the fastest people that come out here.
So do it.
But if I don't drive well and I'm frustrated, I'm not going to have fun. Because that's who I am.
You're ridiculous.
I am. Thank you. You're not telling me anything new.
Ridiculous.
That's like people telling you about the weather. You already know.
I guess.
But, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Taking off half of the week before that, get down here, get settled in, learn the layout. It's the closest thing to a vacation I get.
I took the whole month off.
Usually it's like onesie, twosie days off. Concepts is the only thing that I like look forward to.
Tyler's been dreaming for a slight sprinkle round one. He's been coming over here every time it rains to practice with his car.
I even brought a garden hose here one day and hosed off the entire track so I could drive in the wet. That was actually fun. It's a good way to learn throttle control.
Just wanted to rain a little.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Forecast is looking kind of dry. I might not be able to race.
It's looking too beautiful out here, man.
So it'll be fun. Concepts is always a good race. I think I heard a rumor that Monty might be calling the races.
Yeah, I think he wanted to. Between me and Monty, I guess we'll do it.
He killed it at the barbecue blast. You did a great job last year.
Yeah, I think we'll probably take turns. It's a lot for one person to call. Even at the end of last year, I was like...
Well, and he's probably going to run some classes too.
Not wanting to talk.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot to call.
I believe it.
Hopefully the turnout will be good. Like last year, everybody rallied together, put a dirt car down for at least one weekend. Come race some turf with us.
Yeah.
Come on.
Glue up some tires, show up, have fun. So, other than that, you have an explanation to the audience as to why we haven't been, at least your side of why we haven't been around as much, why you haven't been posting on YouTube. And I've got a couple of not demos, but products to share that I've teased before. And
I got a few things.
Yeah. So we're not done. It's not going to be a 15-minute podcast.
Two major things why I haven't been doing a whole lot of YouTube, unfortunately. One, I am getting married this year, so I've been pretty busy with extracurricular activities.
Extracurricular?
Yeah. Spaced around doing that stuff, and also just general yard work because the weather's been pretty insane. So.
And everything is growing like 5 times faster than it used to.
Yeah, so other than that, I have been doing RC helicopters this year. This is just one of my little guys here. Whoa.
Don't stab me in the eye.
I have, I don't know why, I mean, I do know why. So at the beginning of the year, my buddy Tommy, I have my Align helicopter over there, and I had built that thing maybe like 5 years ago. Played with it a bit, I got okay. I could hover around, whatever. Ended up crashing it and fixed it, and then hung it on the wall, and it sat in the back room for 5 years because I didn't really know how to properly set it up right. So I gave it to him. He set it up right, and it flew great. I flew the crap out of it, crashed it, fixed it, and that was all the beginning of the summer. And I honestly have kind of tossed myself into it this summer, and
yeah, you've gone pretty deep.
Got pretty addicted to RC helicopters. I've built a couple of them now. This is just my little Goose Guy one that we've been selling in the store, and this thing is amazing because I've smashed it probably 20 times and fixed it, and it just keeps taking a beating. It doesn't even have the canopy on it right now, but it has a nice helicopter look on the front of it. But I got to the point where I didn't really need the canopy on it anymore. And
does it affect how it flies? It must.
I mean, if anything, it weighs a little less and you get a little more flight time.
Really?
But as far as aerodynamics go, they're not like airplanes, so it doesn't really matter as much.
And you're doing some pretty unaerodynamic stuff anyway. It's not like you're just flying.
Yeah, it's
horizontally
not built for speed, and pretty much just for visual. That's why I got some green tape on it there, so you can see it a little better.
Oh, okay. I wondered what the point of that was.
But yeah. Wow. So I've been kind of putting a lot of my free time into learning to fly, and I've probably done, between this one and my larger one, probably about 150 flights so far this summer. I just logged the 70th flight on that big one because that one actually keeps track of it in the computer, and I've probably flown that one 30, 40 times, and I don't even know how many times on this one. So,
gonna get your pilot's license?
My RC license, which technically I have, but you just pay for it and they give it to you. They give it to anybody.
Is that the whole, like, you have to register the...
Yeah, I have the AMA thing for it, so it's, smash into something, you get a little insurance, but I don't fly anywhere that...
It's wild to me how much they pack into these things.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how tiny the servos are. You've got 1, 2, 3 servos on the rotor.
And the tail generally would have a servo, but this one has a motor, so it's a motor-driven tail. It's actually a little motor just connected to the fin, or the prop, I guess, or whatever.
That is wild.
Blades.
So a few times I've been out when he was running these, and I saw the big one.
That one's it's fun.
As well as a couple of his friends that were here. One had a big electric job, and one had, I'm going to say gas, but are they nitro or are they gas?
They make gas and nitro, but he was flying nitro.
If you've never seen a skilled pilot fly one, I almost said drive, fly one of these, come down here on a day when they're going to be messing around with them, because it's ridiculous how fast they can change direction and the stuff that they can do. If you have in your mind that these are helicopters that just kind of buzz around,
it is.
If you did
insane.
these in a helicopter in real life, your eyeballs would pop out of your head. It's just ridiculous what they can do. It's super cool. So it was fun watching you enjoy the hobby, but it was also wild to see like how insanely maneuverable they are. Like, he'll stand the thing up on the tail, and what's that called, a tick-tock, where it's basically going like this,
back and forth, yeah.
And I don't know, this fast or faster. I mean,
this one will do them pretty fast.
You were changing direction with it so fast, you can actually hear the main blades. They like make this buffering sound where it's like.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because of how
they echo right through that too. It sounds cool.
Right. And the bigger ones are. I don't like being near you when you're running them.
I understand that.
Like, do you notice the first time when I watched you and the guys fly?
Step back.
I stood behind a tree because each blade is that long and it's carbon fiber.
So it's definitely
that'll.
Oh yeah, it would.
If crap happens,
it would hurt you real bad.
Yeah.
It could definitely kill you for sure. But it's two things. One, helicopters. I've really enjoyed it because it's very rewarding. Just learning to hover it in all the orientations, because when you're playing with them, every time you move it to a different angle that you look at it, the controls become a different direction.
Right.
But not really. In your head they do, but they're not really a different direction. So
it's your perspective.
it's all, the whole hobby is kind of just the flying aspect is wrapping your head around what you have to do to make it fling into the next move. Like when you back it up upside down into a loop. I was doing like backwards loops the other day.
Yep.
And then it's just and then building them, the build quality on these things is amazing. I mean, even this one's ready to fly, the little goose guy. This thing is impressive right out of the box. This is 100% stock. But I was showing Tyler my Goblin one that I built, and building the machine quality, the parts fitment is just, it's insane.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's not like ground-based stuff where
honestly
you can
beats
kind of
every car.
chukka, there's
There's
looseness and
absolutely no play in anything,
right.
and they fly great. That being said, if you do mess up and crash, it's over.
Because everything
just-
is so tightly tolerated.
Everything is so tight and has to run so true because it's spinning at a couple thousand RPM that if anything is off balance or bent, then it just
You're done.
vibrates apart and blows up. Yeah, but I've really been enjoying it, but it's been taking a lot of my time, arguably, because I've been enjoying it so much. But
that's good though. And one of the things I've always said, like, usually in the winter, like on a Saturday night, you'll get Trip and those guys, they'll come down, they'll run after dinner. On occasion, Chris will go out with them and you will see Chris Marcy driving a buggy and laughing and joking and having fun. And that makes me happy when I see like you guys who normally don't get to enjoy the hobby taking time for yourselves.
yeah,
So it's cool.
I think the RC helicopter was the first time in a really long time that I worked on something at home.
Right.
That one that I built that one at my house and enjoyed it. I literally have nothing RC related at my house other than this helicopter related stuff at this point, and even
Right.
then, most of it's here now anyway. It's like, said I got one car there. I got one car that Tyler P hooked me up on. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've been having fun. A lot of you guys probably have seen me around here, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm confident enough where I can fly and people can watch me, and maybe I'll take a video of it soon. Took me a few months to get to the point where, you know, when you're first starting out, it's a little nerve-wracking. You don't really want to be watched because
Performance anxiety, the usual.
Yes, because at any point you could just smash it into the ground, and you feel like an idiot when people are watching and you smash it into the ground. But I'm at the point now where I either don't care, I'm going to smash it into the ground, or I'm having fun and you can watch anyway.
Send it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you want to get into it, come see me. We sell these at the shop.
So for reference,
They're
what does one of those guys go for? If you were to come in and you wanted to start from scratch and have a ready-to-fly system.
Ready to fly with... They just don't come with a charger, but they're $400. Ready to rip.
Really?
Yes, with a battery. You just need a charger, but it's a little 3-cell battery, so if you have any kind of car equipment, you can probably charge a battery.
That's cool.
And if you have a nice radio and you just want to get a good helicopter, Spectrum, Vitava, whatever, they're $350 without the radio. That's what this one is.
Great way to get into it.
Sounds a little expensive, but this is all carbon fiber and aluminum and brushless.
And tight.
And
It's not sloppy molded plastic
Very
parts on a
nice.
buggy.
And it's a little maybe expensive up front, but the parts are cheap.
Really?
I have no exaggeration. I've smashed this thing probably 20 times. And it's probably $20-$30 to fix it every time. I snap the head right off of it into the asphalt outside. It's $30 and it fixed it.
1010 would smash again.
I did. That was a few crashes ago.
That's cool.
Anyway, on another car-related note, you got something kind of cool that I didn't know about until I did.
Yeah, so this is a thing. I have yet to use it, is my caveat, because I've been so busy banging my head against the wall trying to just drive around the track and not crash. You can read it. It says lap monitor. So one of the problems that people sometimes run into is if you're out on the turf track and the computer's not on, or if you're at the dirt track, I think you have to bring the laptop out and get everything set up, right? Mm-hmm. It's not as easy as like somebody in here flipping a switch and now you have lap times. So there are, a few companies that offer kind of a DIY lap timing system, and this is one of them. So what you get is a little head unit here, which is about the size of a GoPro. It has a base and a tripod, and you can set it on the ground next to the track. This is different from the MyLapse stuff that we use here, in that MyLapse is some kind of, it's basically a trigger-based system.
Some sort of magic process that they have.
This is infrared. So you would put this, let's see if I can make sure that everybody can see it. You would put your receiver on the side of the track, and it's looking across the track. Here's our straightaway or whatever. In the car, you have a transponder, just like we would have with the regular red ones. It plugs into your receiver just the same. The only difference is it has a little, I'm going to call it TV remote light that's always strobing. So what happens is when the car drives by the pickup, it's literally looking for an infrared signal coming out of the car. So you basically have to set up your transponder so it's looking out the window of the car, and it'll send the blink that the head unit picks up. So if you forgot to window mask your body, sucks to be you. You need to buy a new body.
Poke a hole in it or something, maybe.
Yeah, or cut the window out altogether. They also sell little pre-cut plastic pieces for mounting the transponder into specific cars. And then they give you a little...
Oh, is it for your phone?
Yep, they give you a stand for your phone. Says lap monitor. Nothing special, but the reason they give you a stand for your phone is because they have an app that syncs to the head unit via Bluetooth. And you can get and perform almost all of the same functions that, I forget the software you guys use here.
Lifetime.
Lifetime, thank you. That Lifetime is capable of. So you can do racing of however many minutes you want. Each transponder has a unique ID, so you can program a name to a unique ID. You can go out and race. You can set it to practice mode, and it'll just call you. It will audibly through your phone call out your lap times if you want and the names. It's a full.
Seems like a good home track solution.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, but can you buy multiple ones of those and race multiple with the counter?
Yeah. I have 2 transponders because the intent was me and Manny, if we were to go out and practice, or Tyler M, or whoever else. I think I've read that it can handle up to 8 to 10 transponders, and they have a pretty detailed frequently asked question on their website that explains a lot of that stuff. But I don't think it's bothered if 2 cars go by it at the same time. It's reasonably, capable compared to a super expensive system running on a laptop that we're all used to.
We should do a full video on this thing.
A what?
A full video on this. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, if I ever fire the stinking thing up and use it, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I did download the app and kind of go in and poke around in it.
Sure.
And there's a lot of capability.
To set it up on the carpet track over the winter and do a video on it.
Yeah.
How much do you?
So, they call it the starter pack, which is the head unit, the stand, the phone stand, and 1 transponder. I want to say it was 140-ish. This is the good part. Transponder, $35.
Not bad.
And then the app is free. So I think I spent $200 total for the head unit, the stand, tripod, 2 transponders, and then some of the mounting pieces to put them in my associated cars.
So a couple $100.
Yeah, it was literally $200 shipped from, I think they're made in the UK or somewhere in Europe. Lap Monitor is the website. So if you go Lap Monitor, I'm pretty sure it's .com. There's some pro drivers that use it and they rave about it. There's reviews on the website.
Good.
I really should use it. But we'll get there eventually. But I figured I'd share that, before the season's up and we're all indoors. Once we're indoors on the carpet, it kind of doesn't matter because the computer's always on. But for you dirt guys or someone running turf or at a track that, they're closed and you're there the day that they're closed and you want to get data, this is a really good solution.
To reach out to them. Maybe not a bad thing to have in the shop.
Yeah. See what level of interest there is. The other thing that I brought for today, figured since we're going to do a podcast, do it right. This is my Vision Racing, I forget what they call it. It's like a B22X or some, It's some weirdo name.
So we were talking about I think the previous podcast.
Yeah, we teased. I don't know if I brought the chassis and teased it or if I just talked about it. But this is a shaft-driven two-wheel drive buggy. And what it basically is the center diff back or center slipper back from a B74.1. It's the front end of your standard cruiser model B6, and then Vision makes the chassis itself. You can see it looks very Schumacher LD2, LD1-esque, so you have to run a Schumacher body, which bothers me a little bit. I'm just joking. But I literally built the car just because it's different.
Looks nice.
It's a really nice looking car. I dig the black chassis.
The shiny weight plate too is kind of cool.
Yeah, the weight plate adds a little bit. There's no weight under, you can't put weight under the servo. You kind of need a super shorty or low profile servo because theoretically all your electronics are supposed to go here. I got lazy and I put my ESC where you can see it is right there. Okay. See how it's behind the motor. I don't know if it's obviously worse for forward weight, but I think it's probably more balanced because then you have the battery here opposite the motor in the ESC. I'm going to corner balance this and compare it because I've got the scales those oval guys use. I'm going to put this on it and compare it to a standard two-wheel buggy. I think this has more forward weight bias,
really?
but we'll see.
Just because the motor's forward like that?
Yeah, I think the motor is more dense of an object than the battery. So I think moving the motor to basically where the battery would be here.
It does have the four-wheel drive setup in the back, though. That's a good bit of weight, too, comparatively.
It is. So that may work to my disadvantage, but
looks cool regardless.
It's a cool looking car, and no lie, like even if I hate it, I'm gonna have Bob Smith paint one of my bodies for it, and it's gonna go in the collection because it's different and cool.
20 years from now, and people will be fighting over on eBay.
I don't think so, Tim.
We can hope.
But it's different, and I actually need to give a very appreciative shout out to Steve Fume because his turf-winning B74-1 from last year, RIP, gave up its life so that I could have the drive line. So I owe him several rips behind the wheel of this, and we'll see what he says. It's got 12mm shocks on it right now. Eventually, if it actually does something good, I'll put big shocks on it and try to make a thing of it. Maybe it'll be my winter mod car.
So basically, if you want to build that car, you have to have a 74 and a B6 in that chassis.
Yeah. The chassis was $100. But it's like if you're an associated driver and you're sitting on
older car,
a 74-1 that isn't worth any money anymore, and is sitting on the shelf, and I mean all of us have at least a last gen B6 kicking around usually, or you could get like the drag race support kit that has a lot of that stuff in it. There's other there's ways you can skin that cat. You get something different to try. The rear pivot is because it's the four-wheel drive rear pivots, like it's super wide compared to the two-wheel drive car. So the roll centers, I think, are going to be very different, or at least the rear roll center. So it's like a complete Mario Brothers question box. No clue what it's going to do, so it'll be fun.
It'll at least look cool.
Yep. It's fun to tinker, fun to build.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
A little bit of 10 scale, a little bit of 8 scale, a little bit of helicopters.
A little bit of racing, a little bit of weather.
Pretty full podcast today. Yeah, almost 40 minutes there. Just a quick wrap up. Check out that events page. Friday Night Lights, new carpet in the back, J Concept race, helicopters, lap monitors, shaft drive, two-wheel drive buggies. Been a good show.
Giggity.
That being said, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.